Oh, whoops. Sorry. I was busy playing Super Mario World on the PSP. Wait, hold the fuck on. A Super Nintendo game on a Sony console? What is this, the future? Oh yeah, it's the future! When the PSP was first released, people quickly figured out on how to mod and add homebrew to the console, essentially jailbreaking it to make the PSP do things it wasn't originally intended to do. At the time, PSP was the most powerful handheld on the market compared to its competitor, the Nintendo DS. So modded PSP was a game changer to not only just play PSP and PS1 games, but NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Boy Advance, and more on a portable console. We're talking about home console games on the go. But in today's standards, this isn't anything too impressive. Many basic smartphones currently can run most of the game consoles I mentioned, but we're talking about a time when PS2, GameCube, and the original Xbox were the latest generation consoles, and most phones look like this. So a modded PSP was a big deal, and the only reason why I bring it up is because it's my first experience with a modded console, but I was too young and stupid to realize how huge of a deal it was until now. A few years ago, I took interest in modding my 3DS, and it opened the door to the world of modding systems. There are many systems and handhelds you can easily mod and add homebrew. Most of them are systems that aren't really being supported currently, for example the Nintendo DS. But with the addition of mods and homebrew, it can bring a dead console back to life. And I would like to mention 3 consoles that I have experience using homebrew with. Starting with the first console I brought back into my life, the Nintendo 3DS. Now, I'm a gamer, and I'm kind of special. Not that kind of special. Despite me being a gamer, I still don't own a Switch.
He's different!
It's not like I can't afford one, I just don't mind waiting until I have a real good reason to own one. But I often got bored going out and having nothing to do other than being on my phone. I wanted to play something on the go, and I also felt nostalgic for the 3DS. With a little research about the 3DS, I found out about modding. On top of my desire to play Denpaman 3, I decided to finally fix and mod my old 3DS. Quickly, I easily became addicted to it again. A modded 3DS is amazing. So many features become available, like dumping physical games onto the 3DS, transfer save data, custom 3DS themes, and with the ending of the eShop, you can install eShop games or other applications using CIA files with the FBI application. Wait, hold on. Not only can it play 3DS games, but it can also play DS games natively too, which opens a whole other library of games to play on the go. On the addition of emulating all of this, it's just a powerhouse of a handheld console. There's just so much more you can do with it. 3DSs are getting expensive as they haven't been in production in years, and more people becoming aware of its capabilities. But if you look hard enough, you could end up finding good deals. But is the 3DS worth it to get? 200% yes, it is. Especially if you're into 3DS or DS games, the only natural way you can play it is on this console. It's hard to emulate many of the games made for the console due to the touch and dual screen. Like, sure, I can play Rhythm Haven on PC, but it was made to play on actual hardware itself. And you know another console with games that was solely made with the console in mind? The Wii. It turns out it's hard to emulate many of the games made for the Wii. Have you tried playing Mario Party 8 on PC? It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't!
So naturally, I modded the Wii. The Wii is one of the most successful and common systems around. It seemed like every family had one, which makes it easy to find one for cheap. And for the price, it's a goddamn good deal. It can pretty much do everything. Play your Wii and GameCube games, of course including the usual old emulators. But on top of that, you can play modded games with Revolution to squeeze more life out of your games.
Oh. Whoops.
You can even make the Wii play DVDs, so it's also a DVD player too. Or you can install a media center to play video or music files off of the Wii. It can even probably do your taxes.
Excuse me, but can I bring my parents' relationship back together?
No, but you can watch the entirety of Pluto Nash in 3D. So with that in mind, is the Wii worth it? Also yes, but I do have to mention the Wii U can pretty much do everything I listed and more. For instance, play Wii U and DS games, which is why I regret not buying a Wii U since it can basically emulate the entirety of the Wii itself, making the Wii U a 2-in-1 console. That would be like buying a DS instead of a 3DS, or another example, buying a PSP instead of a PS Vita. Speaking of, About 4 years ago, I went to a yard sale with my father. One of the items being sold was a PS Vita. Including the perfectly working console was a dozen games, a carrying case, and a charger. Everything for $10. That is a huge steal of a price, but for some reason, I didn't take it. 3 reasons why. Number 1, I didn't want my dad spending money on me. Number 2, I thought someone else would enjoy it more than me. And number 3, I wasn't aware about its modding capabilities or modding in general, so I had no interest in it. Fast forward to now, I buy one for $175. Do I regret it? No, not really. I mean, of course I regret not getting it for $10, but I don't mind spending $175 for mine either. Mine came with an SD to Vita adapter with a 256GB card, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and the dude who sold it to me gave me the original box. Pretty cool. Okay, so what cool things can you do with the modded PS Vita? To be honest, just as much as any other modded console. Play the usual old emulators, backup or transfer save datas, dump your games, and install modded apps. But you could connect the PS4 controller to use on the PS Vita, but I can't really show that because I don't even own the PS4 controller. The main reason why I got a PS Vita was for its exclusive library of PSP and PS Vita games to play portably. Great games on the console, for example, Fruit Ninja, My Singing Monsters, one of my favorites, and Jetpack Joyride. All of these games on the go. Remember when I mentioned the 2-in-1 console? The PS Vita can emulate the PSP console itself, giving you access to PSP and PS1 games on top of the PS Vita. Despite all these cool things, there are issues I personally had unlike the other 2 consoles I've used. I might have to retry installing Homebrew again, but still, it's a pretty fun device even with the little selection of games I have. And that's pretty much all the modded consoles I've owned. A modded system is truly a wonder to have. Unlocking the console's ability to do more than what it's supposed to do feels great. The feeling of freedom. And it wouldn't be possible without the hard workers behind the exploits, the people who made the guides, everyone in the modded community. I give my huge thanks and appreciation to you all. You guys helped me and my friends have a good time with all the wacky shit we can do with our consoles. I can't imagine what other systems we'll be able to mod in the near future. Specifically, I'm looking towards the Switch. Once when the Switch can easily become moddable, it'll be one of the best gaming systems to have. The specs and features along with its huge library of games all while being portable sounds like a force to be reckoned with. Until then, we'll just have to wait and see.
Mod our consoles. Face the consequences.